Have you ever taken a bite of a banana and thought, wait a second, am I eating something that's basically part of me? What if I told you that more than half of your DNA, the very code that makes you who you are, is nearly identical to that of a banana? Yes, you heard that right. 60% of the genetic blueprint that creates a human being is mirrored in this simple yellow fruit. Sounds impossible, doesn't it? But the truth is even stranger and far more fascinating than fiction. Today, we're going to peel back the layers of this shocking fact and dive deep into the world of DNA, evolution, and the hidden connections that tie us to bananas and to nearly every other living thing on Earth. By the end of this journey, you won't look at your fruit bowl or yourself the same way again. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to Curious Crumbs, and tap the bell icon, because this rabbit hole of facts is one you definitely don't want to climb out of too soon. Ready? Let's dig in. DNA is the language of life. It's like a four-letter alphabet, a T, C, and G that writes the instruction manual for every living creature on the planet. From you, to me, to the banana sitting in your kitchen. This genetic code is what dictates everything from eye color to growth, to how cells repair themselves. Now, here's where things get fascinating. When scientists mapped the human genome, they also compared it with other organisms. What they found was nothing short of shocking. Humans share around 60% of their DNA with bananas. That means more than half of our genetic code is the same as a fruit we peel and eat in seconds. But wait, does that mean you're half banana? Not exactly. DNA doesn't translate directly into traits you can see. Instead, it codes for the proteins and molecular processes that keep living things alive. The 60% overlap refers to the fact that the instructions for basic life like cell division, metabolism, and DNA repair are so fundamental that they've been preserved across millions, even billions, of years of evolution. Let's put this into perspective. You share about 98 to 99% of your DNA with chimpanzees, which makes sense since they're our closest relatives in the animal kingdom. You share about 85% with mice, 61% with fruit flies, and yes, about 60% with bananas. So, when scientists say we're genetically connected to bananas, what they mean is that the building blocks of life are universal and we humans are not as unique as we sometimes like to believe. Now, here's a question. If we share so much DNA with bananas, why don't we look or act like bananas? The answer lies in how DNA is expressed. Think of DNA as a massive library. Both humans and bananas have overlapping collections of books. But what really matters is which books we choose to read and how we interpret the instructions inside. Bananas have about 11 chromosomes, while humans have 46. The genes we share are mostly the ancient core housekeeping genes that keep life running smoothly, making energy, building proteins, repairing damage. But when it comes to the genes that define our bodies, brains, and behaviors, humans read a completely different set of chapters compared to bananas. Still, there's something poetic about knowing that the same biological instructions that run through your veins also pulse through the cells of a banana. It's a reminder that life on Earth is deeply interconnected, that in some way, everything is family. Now, here's where it gets even more fascinating. Let's zoom out. Humans don't just share DNA with bananas, we share DNA with practically everything alive. About 40 to 50% with cabbage, around 80% with cows. Even yeast, the tiny organism that makes bread rise and beer ferment, shares about 26% of its DNA with humans. Imagine that the same organism used in baking bread shares part of its genetic code with you. This overlap is the result of billions of years of evolution. Life started with simple, single-celled organisms, and over time, those cells diversified, branched, and adapted. But they didn't rewrite the entire genetic manual each time. Instead, they reused and modified the same set of basic instructions. That's why you and a banana still have so much in common, because your ancestors and banana ancestors split off from the same tree of life hundreds of millions of years ago. Think about that for a moment. Every time you eat a banana, you're essentially consuming a distant relative. It's not cannibalism, but it's close enough to make you pause before your next smoothie. But let's dig a little deeper into bananas themselves. Bananas are fascinating not just because of their genetic overlap with humans, but also because of their own unique evolutionary story. Did you know that the bananas we eat today are almost entirely clones of one another? The common Cavendish banana that dominates grocery stores worldwide has been selectively bred for taste and convenience, but that also makes them genetically uniform. And here's the kicker. because they're so genetically identical. Cavendish bananas are extremely vulnerable to disease. One fungal infection could wipe them out completely. In fact, it's already happening in some parts of the world, where a deadly fungus known as tropical racefer is threatening banana crops. Imagine a world without bananas, not just your morning snack, but also a key food source for millions of people around the globe. Here's where it gets wild again. Scientists are trying to save bananas by using genetic research, sometimes even inserting genes from other species, to give bananas resistance to disease. So in a strange twist, the same DNA that connects us to bananas could be the very key to saving them from extinction. Now, let's circle back to the big picture. Why does this matter? Why should you care that you share 60% of your DNA with bananas? Because it forces us to rethink the idea of separation. We often view humans as separate from the natural world, more advanced, more intelligent, more evolved. But the truth is, we're just one branch on a massive evolutionary tree. The same life code that pulses in a banana, a mouse, or even a single-celled yeast is the same code that built you. This realization carries a profound message. We are not above nature, but part of it. Every living thing is connected by the same threads of DNA, woven together over billions of years. The banana fact is just the most shocking doorway into this incredible truth. So, the next time you peel open a banana, don't just think of it as a snack. Think of it as a reminder of the vast, interconnected web of life on Earth. Think of the deep history etched into its cells, the millions of years of evolution that link you and that fruit, and the incredible fact that more than half of your own genetic code is mirrored inside it. And if that doesn't make your brain tingle with curiosity, I don't know what will. Before you go, I've got a challenge for you. Drop a comment below with the strangest fact you know about DNA, evolution, or biology. I'll feature the most mind-blowing ones in an upcoming video. And if you enjoyed peeling back the layers of today's mystery, make sure you like this video, subscribe to Curious Crumbs, and share it with a friend who loves weird and wonderful facts about the world. Because remember, curiosity isn't just about learning facts. It's about seeing the hidden connections that make life endlessly fascinating. Until next time, keep your mind open, keep asking questions, and never stop being curious.